SCP-682, also known as the hard-to-destroy reptile, has a reputation for being invincible. However, nowhere in the official file does it actually say that, only that he can regenerate lost tissue by ingesting material if he is given the time and material to do so. And so, with that being said, let's explore 10 potential ways to kill SCP-682. Let's start with acid, and I don't mean the kind that would see him tripping balls. We know that 682 is made of organic material. After all, Dr. Bright did propose using 682 meat to create an endless number of burgers to cure world hunger. The current containment procedures dictate that 682 be submerged in a hydrochloric acid bath. The flaw here is that hydrochloric acid is actually not very good at fully dissolving organic compounds, and organic material dissolves very slowly in hydrochloric acid, so we need something more potent, dear viewer. A better solution would be to drop his scaly hide into a nitric acid solution, and slowly bring him to the boil until he dissolved, kinda like boiling a lobster. If we do it slowly enough, he might not even notice until it's far too late to do anything about it. Also, a combination of sulfuric acid, which is much better at dissolving organic compounds, with high concentration hydrogen peroxide could also be a safe bet. Also known as piranha solution, this combination will make quick work of the soft tissues before it destroys the harder structures underneath. Failing that, how about some high-velocity kinetics, which is just a fancy way of saying bullets? SCP-682 is not invulnerable. He adapts and he regenerates. In the past, the Foundation has lit the reptile up with enough firepower to keep him damaged and suppressed for long enough so that he could be safely transported. But what if we didn't stop? What if we just kept shooting him until he died? High-caliber weapons have historically done a better job, and for some pretty obvious reasons. A 50 caliber round from a Browning is going to do a fuckload more damage than some work-experienced security guard's 9mm handgun. We could just take this to a logical conclusion. Yeah, you could whip out an AR and pump the fucker full of 5.56, but I have a potentially much better idea. What if we put him at the business end of an A10 Warthog and introduce him to the Avenger? 3,930mm rounds in a minute. If that doesn't work, we could pull a battleship out of retirement and drop a couple of 1,000-pounders on him. Speaking of explosives, how about a good old-fashioned bomb? Let's not fuck around with conventional or thermobaric bombs. Let's whip out the nukes, and the Foundation is hardly short of those, given that every SCP facility has at least one. Hell, Site-19 has 5 of them ready to blow. Even smacking 682 over the head with a little boy could probably be enough to call it a day, let alone hitting him with a modern-day warhead. But let's take a moment and imagine that's not the case, that a small nuke is not enough. What next? Well, we need an even bigger nuke. Let's call up our Russian comrades in the GRU Division P and ask them very kindly to supply a Tsar bomber. That thing is 1,570 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, and that was only half its potential strength because they removed a component to reduce the radioactive fallout. Everything within 3 miles would be obliterated, and the mushroom cloud would reach the edge of the atmosphere. If 682 managed to survive that, well, maybe the blast launched him into space at least, otherwise God help us all. Taking a break from all these violent methods though, why don't we just give him a friend? Someone who might be able to suppress his natural urges to murder and destroy. We've already tried this once with SCP-053, and she and he got on great. Heck, he even let her cuddle up to him and draw all over his snout with crayons. Admittedly, yes, he did go on a bloodthirsty murdering rampage as soon as a human entered the room, but the solution here is simple. You slap on a keep out sign and leave 682 and 053 in the room together. No escape attempts, and we can all have a laugh at 682 covered in the girl's drawings. Or how about we just get rid of him? Send him somewhere he can't come back from. We have alternate timelines, dead worlds, wormholes, and other dimensions available to us. If we really wanted to be rid of SCP-682, we could use any of these as a dumping ground. Of course, it goes without saying that we shouldn't go dumping 682 anywhere he can cause more death and destruction. A barren planet or an asteroid would do nicely. Easier still, strap him to a rocket and launch the thing into space. He might die from exposure to the vacuum and cosmic radiation, but even if he doesn't, the guy has no way to propel himself. He's in a vacuum. He's going to be floating about until someone else comes along. It might be worth dropping him off somewhere memorable though, you know. If you've hidden away one of the most dangerous creatures known to man, you want to be able to remember where you put him. Otherwise, put him in a capsule, slap on a bumper sticker saying "Do not open, arsehole inside," and then launch him out into the stars and let someone else deal with him. Or maybe we just save the future the trouble and instead fire him into the sun. Okay, we joke about throwing hard-to-destroy anomalies into the sun all the time, but why not? It's a ball of superheated gas with a surface temperature of 5,000 degrees Celsius and an internal temperature of a batshit crazy 15 million degrees. 30 degrees and that's me done for the day. Fuck 5,000, let alone 15 million. At those temperatures, atoms get ripped apart. What hope does 682 have of surviving that? If for some reason our own sun isn't hot enough, we could find a wolf star and drop him in there. It has a surface temperature alone of 60,000 degrees. How do you like your 682? I like mine well done. Or we could get really fancy, launch him at Sagittarius A and drop him into the black hole. Good fucking luck getting out of there, Chief. And who's going to stop us? NASA? Fat chance. Moving away from physically demanding methods of dealing with 682, what if we just freeze him? I don't mean putting him in a big freezer. I mean hit him with a juiced up reality anchor. A lot of you will be familiar with these devices from the SCP Foundation. Typically they are used against reality benders to nullify their effects. But what if we use it instead to anchor 682 permanently to one spot in reality? Let's say we freeze him in a location. Job done. He isn't moving again. All we have to do is keep the reality anchor functional. If instead of physically anchoring him, it just anchors his genetics to nullify his ability to change and adapt his physical body, then it can no longer heal from damage. We can successfully kill him then any way we choose, as long as 100% of his genetic material is destroyed so it cannot regenerate. Another way, what if SCP-682 never existed? No, I mean it. We have plenty of time-traveling anomalies and entities that can alter history. We could use one to travel back in time to a point before SCP-682 was created, made, born, whatever. Then we just stop whatever events led to the creation of the anomaly. It's as simple as that. A lot of you, myself included, would bring up the paradox of this situation, but that's not a concern right now. We're just exploring ways to get rid of the angry lizard come what may. Moving past science fiction, what about the power of prayer? Okay, this one might not work, and I don't mean SCP-343. We tried that already. He pulled the Darth Vader on us with his "I am your father," and it didn't work. Nor do I mean you should whip out your crucifixes and holy books and get on down to Sunday service or any of that jazz. You can certainly try, but I find it hard to believe that divine intervention will save you in a pinch when 682 is bearing down on you. I am referring instead to some very powerful god-tier entities the Foundation knows of and has contained, such as the Gate Guardian for example. Granted, it's not a god, it's an angel, but it still obliterates matter from existence. And I know I nerfed him hard in my 682 vs 001 video, but if I hadn't, it would have been 30 seconds long. There is also SCP-2845, the deer. That thing is an actual god, and it can manipulate matter, and it is only contained because it believes the bullshit rituals we do to keep it contained. Or probably one of the most OP and not so well known entities the Foundation has, SCP-239, the Witch Child. This little girl can do anything she wants. Existence and creation are her form of modelling clay. The Foundation keeps her in a coma because they are scared she will just wish away reality. She could just will SCP-682 out of existence, and that is it, job done, as easy as that. And finally, and I'm only including this because every great monster has a weakness, have we checked to see if 682 has any allergies? Vampires are allergic to garlic, werewolves are allergic to silver. What is the big bad lizard allergic to? That might just be the one thing that he cannot heal from, and instead it inhibits his regeneration ability. Let's just expose him to everything we can get a hold of, and just see how he reacts. Everything has a vital weakness, we just need to keep probing him until we find one for 682. Personally, I would vote to just launch him into space. It's very simple, and once he's out there, he's not coming back. Job done. Check out this video for another great story. Please give this video a like if you've made it this far, it really helps the channel. And thank you to Ryan Brenner, Techno Ninja, Infinite Tune, Viger, Andre Bachert, and Matthew Duncan.